Hi, grade six. So for today's lesson, I just wanted to talk a little bit about using distinct main ideas in your essay writing. Um, we kind of practiced this a little bit last week when I had you guys do some research for your essay on blue whales. So remember, I gave you guys an essay plan that had all of the main ideas for each body paragraph, and I basically just had you fill in the information. And you had to make sure that each point form note that you put into the essay plan related to whatever the main idea of that paragraph was. And so that was kind of practicing what we're going to continue to talk about and do today, which is making sure that when we're writing an essay, that every body paragraph is about one thing in particular and that we're not jumping around with our ideas too much. So it's a way to organize our essay writing. So just to clarify, when I say distinct main ideas, distinct, it means clear cut, different, separate. So I should be able to tell which paragraph a sentence or a fact belongs in because I know what each paragraph is about. So for example, for the essay about blue whales, that first body paragraph was about the physical appearance of blue whales. So anything that related to that in terms of size, weight, color, any other description you have about what the whale looks like would go into that first body paragraph that's about the physical appearance. Okay, so I just want to mention a couple of things about why having distinct main ideas is important. So the first thing, if main ideas are mixed together, a paragraph becomes kind of disorganized and a little bit confusing. So what happens is if you just start talking about a whole bunch of different things in one paragraph, your ideas are jumping around and the reader's going to have a really hard time following along with what exactly you're talking about. The second thing is when you talk about many different things in one paragraph, it means that you're not talking about any one thing in enough detail, because usually it means that the student is maybe talking about, the physical appearance of a blue whale in one sentence, and then in the next sentence all of a sudden they're talking about how they're endangered, but they're not going into any detail about anything. When you have a distinct main idea as a whole paragraph, a whole body paragraph, it means that you're introducing what the main idea is, and then you're going into detail about that specific main idea. So what I want to do is I want to show you an example of a couple of pieces of expository writing. They're more opinion pieces, and you'll see that they use first person language. So they're not essays, but they're kind of going along the same lines. So we're going to look at two examples. One is organized really well with distinct main idea paragraphs, and the other one just kind of jumbles everything together. So let's take a look. So the piece of writing is about Disney World. What is your dream vacation destination? Europe, Hawaii, California? Me, I'd choose Disney World. Disney World is a terrific place to visit. Okay, so nothing really wrong with that opening paragraph, although I would say it's a little bit on the short side. There's no nicer place than Disney World. There are many nice hotels to stay in with fancy restaurants, swimming pools, playgrounds, and much more. The Disney park is also really nice. Everything is clean and nice for vacationers. There are lots of nice things to do there, like go on rides, visit nice exhibits, and visit the nice shops. You can hear music and see fireworks too. This is another reason Disney World is nicer than any other place. Okay, so if I were to ask what this paragraph is about, it's kind of hard to answer because really it's just about how Disney World is nice. It's a little bit too general. Okay, there's no specific topic. They talk a little bit about the park, they talk about restaurants, they talk about rides, they talk about music and fireworks, but they're not really focusing on anything, so it just kind of jumps around. Let's look at the second paragraph. Disney World is the perfect vacation spot. There's something for everyone. If you like to get scared or excited, there are the rides like Space Mountain. If you like to shop, like my mother, you kinds of things there. Clothes, jewelry, house decorations. There's no trouble finding a nice hotel. There are hundreds of nice places to stay near the park. This is why Disney World is the perfect vacation spot. So again, when we're looking at these two paragraphs, they're both really not about anything in particular. They just kind of jump around. You'll notice that they talk about rides in both paragraphs. They talk about the nice shops. They talk about the hotel in paragraph. There's not a lot of focus or organization in this piece of writing so far, okay? Because it's hard to tell what each paragraph is about. They're just kind of mentioning everything. Let's look at another example. Same subject, okay? And same introduction paragraph. So let's go down to that first body paragraph. One thing you can always count on is the quality of a Disney hotel. So now, right away, we know what the main idea of this paragraph is. The reader is going to say, okay, based on that first sentence, I know that this whole paragraph is going to be talking about Disney hotels. So let's read on. The rooms are clean and bright, filled with new furniture, TV, VCR, and telephone. Obviously, this is an older piece of writing because they're mentioning VCRs. Most of you probably do not use VCRs. They're a little bit outdated at this point. When the weather's hot, which it usually is, you can mosey down to one of their exclusive pools, complete with water slide, fountain, diving board, and snack bar. Each hotel has a fancy restaurant as well as a food court for refueling and re-energizing. Probably the best part of staying in a Disney hotel is the shuttle bus service. Every 15 minutes, you can hop an air-conditioned shuttle to the theme park. Disney hotels are so popular that most guests come back again. So again, everything in that paragraph was all about hotels at Disneyland. One more paragraph. One thing you won't find anywhere but Disney World are the famous Disney characters. So again, we know now what this paragraph is going to be about. We're talking specifically about characters. So every piece of information in this paragraph is going to relate to characters. Where else can you have breakfast with Snow White or lunch with Cinderella? As you walk through the park, you will be greeted by that world-famous mouse couple, Mickey and Minnie. You can pose for pictures with Goofy and Pluto. The last time I was at Disney World, I got autographs from the famous chipmunks, Chip and Dale. So again, we can see that everything is organized well because everything in that paragraph relates to Disney characters. And also keep in mind, I mentioned before, but keep in mind that the reason they're using first-person language in this piece of writing is because it's more of an opinion piece. It's really trying to convince you that Disney World is a good place to go. Okay, so again, we're going to be focusing this week. The lessons are going to focus a little bit on organizing information, kind of like last week. We're kind of building off of what we did last week. So I'm going to post the lesson. And if you have any questions about it, I'm going to write out all the instructions in the assignment itself. And then if you have any questions, you can just send me a message and I'll answer back as quickly as possible. Okay, thanks everyone.